But your parents, I think, certainly were shaped by not just the Great Depression, but I'd say the period before it, the Roaring Twenties, which was a sort of reaction to
Prohibition.
post-World War One and Prohibition.
Yeah.
And then following the sort of high times of the Roaring Twenties, then the low times of the Great Depression. So, that affected them, which probably in turn affected you. So you want to talk about
Well,
that?
I think that we grew up in a time when all of our parents had lived through the Great Depression, and you didn't spend money you didn't have. There were no credit cards. I think there were, I'm not positive then, I know later on there were certainly department store credit cards, but you paid them. You paid them that month. You only bought what you could afford. Probably the only borrowed money you had was for a mortgage. And people didn't try to see how many things they could amass. That just wasn't the way it was. And my parents were very careful with money. I think because they had a lot of wealthy friends, they felt like the poor relations, and they weren't poor. We were comfortable. It didn't take so much to be comfortable, but Dad never earned a lot of money. And so they were very careful with money, and we didn't spend a lot, nothing we didn't need. And so that made an impression on me, and I think on Barbara to an extent. I mean, she has a different situation, but when her kids were growing up, she bought all their clothes at rummage sales, and even today she's careful. They spend what they need to spend, and if she sees something she really likes at a craft sale, she'll buy it. But other than that, I think for the amount of money they have, she's very careful. And so it made an impression on both of us. That's just the way it was. You didn't buy something you didn't need. So even today I have a problem. If I go to a store and I see something I like, I pretty much talk myself out of it if I don't think I need it. And whereas other people would just buy it, they think they like it, they should have it. And I can't do that.
Thanks to your father.
Thanks. Well, I don't think it's so terrible. I'm not deprived in any way. I have what I need. And I don't go out with no clothes on. So I think I'm okay.